initially I was thinking maybe I might pull this down and send this to CBC myself.
And hey, Fro,
Actually, there's only
you make too much sense, man.
These particular issues, and
you got too much sense going on.
His name's Jamie Tyndall, and
What the fuck? What are you guys doing?
Probably don't know Zenoscope unless you.
How are you right there? When did you get there? And how long have you been listening to me listen to Hey Fro? I don't think that's cool, guys. But, I mean, I just pulled up to home. You guys can't let me even get to my house. Well, since you're here, let's talk about a new potential video series. Okay. Now that I was able to hug my son and kiss my wife without getting bothered by you guys, I mean, god dang, I couldn't even back up into the car. Hey, so guys, this new video idea that I have is more or less, I want to talk about my top 10 sales, but more or less, I want to correlate it to what Polish Pete UK was saying today. He put out a video of 10 things that are misconceptions about promoted sales, or promoted listings, rather. And the one that stuck out to me the most was essentially how the algorithm views quality listings. And he made a comment in there about how the algorithm, eBay, wants to sell your item with the lowest amount of impressions. He was way more elegant in the way he explained it. That's the gist, or at least that's how I understood it. And that completely makes sense nowadays. Because I look at the items that I don't sell within a week, and for sure they feel like they've been pushed down into the search queue, meaning that I'm not getting very much attention on them. And this may be something that we all need to start thinking about when we go sourcing. So today, I want to show you my top 10 for the last week. I want to have a very general discussion about whether I believe the algorithm favored this item or if it did not. Specifically, I really want to correlate it to how long it sat on eBay before it sold. And so if you are a clothing reseller or if you're an everything reseller, these might be items that you should be looking out for. So let's get her started. The first item is a very strong women's brand, Frank and Eileen. These were the Blackstone Utility Crop Raw Hem Pant. These, I took an offer of $95. Anytime you guys can get, I have it listed for $120. Could have sold definitely within that. But anytime you get an offer near $100 on eBay, I think we all should be just taking it. If you're curious, this is the label for Frank and Eileen. So this actually started on, I want to say, let me see, where's the, it doesn't really tell me what you can see here. Actually, we'll correlate it to this. So up here, we have views. It took 21 views of this item. Now, I can't necessarily correlate impressions. eBay, unless someone out there knows how to tell me what my item specifically got impression-wise, to my knowledge, there's no way to correlate how many impressions my item received. So the only data I have is how long it sat on eBay and how long and when it sold. So let's go back here. I wonder, let's see, paid and shipped, and let's do custom this week. Okay, so you can see here, it does tell me. Okay, so we're gonna come back to this, I guess, every single time. So you can see this Frank and Eileen. I started it on November 26th. and it sold on November 30th. Took 4 days and 21 page views. So in my simple-minded approach to this, I would highly suggest that this is a favorable item to eBay. It sold in less than 5 days, and it only took 21 page views. Now, obviously, with any item, I do run the risk of this potentially being returned, but from my experience, and this may be different for everyone else, higher end items like this tend to have a higher quality buyer. So just putting that out there. So let's move on to the next item. It's this Mountain Hardwear El Commando Tactical Cargo Kilt. If you guys are unfamiliar, kilts have a men's tactical kilt or cargo kilt. Has a very high sell-through rate. Very good prices. You can see I got $99.97. You can see here it sold November 28th. We'll go back here, and you can see I listed it on November 28th. Let's see how many page views. It took 2 page views. Now it sold to a hopefully quality buyer. Okay. And also, guys, I really want to make sure that I hammer this home. These are not promoted. Okay. So one of also Polish Pete's topics was pay to play in this rat race. You do not have to do that. And I want to be the living embodiment. Now, I will be transparent. I am selling on Poshmark. I am paying. This is my first month of this service of Vendu. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm just doing it 100% on eBay. But I want to highlight items that I think eBay is deeming favorable in the algorithm. This specific item here sold within an hour of me listing it. And I was competitive with my price. There was some listed higher. There were some that sold higher. But you know what? I respected what I saw. A lot of times what I do is I look at the lowest, I look at the highest and go, I really think that this is where it should be. That's what I did here, and it sold within hours, guys. The next item is an item that I listed on November 21st. Had 34 page views. I sold it for $44.97, I believe. Yep, right. Oh, I sold it for $40.47. That would have been a 10% off offer. And you can see here, it sold November 26th. I started it November 21st, took 34 page views. Guys, cool is a very in-demand item, but as most brands go, it is very specific on what you are selling. If you guys are unaware, the brand logo kind of looks like that. And as I keep pounding the table for, please use whatever measures you can to find out the specific name of the item. As you can see in this one, this is the Interceptor Full Zip Mock Neck Fleece Soft Hiking Vest. Actually, I don't think this is, was this a vest? This was a vest. Okay. I did right there, vest. Okay. So again, I'm showing you an item that only took a few days, 5 days, to sell to what appears to be a high quality seller or buyer. Okay, I'm really trying to focus on this, guys. You got to look at the buyers that are buying this. 444. This is a seasoned eBayer buying an item who clearly knew that he got a good deal on an item that eBay is clearly promoting for me without me having to pay additional fees. Okay? So let's move on to the next item. Okay, you can see here, this started November 25th. Let's find it over here. Here we go. I even got a buyer's note that says thank you. So to Mr. Sean Cumberton, if you're listening, I really appreciate your purchase. Thank you very much. You can see here it sold November 28th for $30 plus shipping. It took 18 page views and 3 days to sell. Guys, I respected the comps. Comps were kind of all over the place. You can kind of see the similar sponsored items. So all these people are getting my impression right now, which is okay. But you can totally see I was respecting I maybe came a little bit lower. I mean, the size is only a size 30. I live in an area where I know what kind of camo pattern this is. It's a Woodling camo. So it was cargo, high quality pair of pants, sold for $30. Yep, $30 on an accepted offer. So guys, another example, again, seasoned eBayer, 100% buyer feedback. I would deem this as a quality item as well. Okay, here's an item that I sent out, but then got returned to me because the initial buyer didn't have a proper address. I don't really know what happened, but I refunded that guy, basically relisted this. So you can see here, I started this on November 23rd. And let's go find it. I listed it, it sold on the 27th. So 4 days, sold for $30. In a saturated brand. Nike is very saturated. Took 85 page views to sell this. My theory is if this was a little bit bigger, it would have taken less time. But this item, if you guys see, if it's new with tags, this item is nearly 100% sell-through rate. New with tags, guys. And it does not sell cheap new with tags either. So I listed this at 40, accepted an offer of 30. Again, saturated brand. Everyone knows that there's a literal ton of Nike items on eBay. But you find the valuable items. If you're curious, this is how you find Nike. That DV9307 is the style code. If you're curious, there's the tag. I mean, I'm sure everyone can recognize Nike at this point. Sold to a relatively new eBayer. So fingers crossed that this gets received properly. But again, this is an example, something that didn't take eBay hardly any time to sell. And I say took eBay hardly any time to sell because the premise of the story is that eBay doesn't want to do a damn thing to get us sales. They just want you to pay more money to get impressions. And eBay, though, is going to promote your high quality item, but they want you to do it. They want to sell your item. They don't want it on the platform. Let's be very clear, guys. eBay does not want your item on their platform for any longer than it needs to be. Okay? The more impressions, so here's kind of what Polish Pete was saying as well. The more impressions it takes to sell your item, the longer it takes to sell that item, the longer it's on the platform, that is considered unfavorable. And it will be suppressed. We know that. And I agree with his premise. It is not being suppressed for no reason. Okay, guys? There is very specific reasons your listings will be suppressed. One of those is that it is not an in-demand item. Either you're overpriced or it's just gets lost in the abyss. I don't know. That one's weird to me, but okay, moving on. We got a few more. We do these Nike FootJoy pants. Now this one is an outlier. FootJoy is a very saturated market, very not in demand product anymore. However, some of their products are in demand. This is an example of an item that you just have to trust the comps. When you look at what's available, people are pricing these $35 plus shipping and above. When you look at the solds, you can see they're selling anywhere from $25 to $30 plus shipping. So respect the comps, guys. Don't always try to get every last penny out of it, okay? People are not dumb. Now, it may seem like it, especially when you receive freaking messages that, what's the size? And literally my second picture is the freaking sizes. Come on, guys. But you can see here, these sold, I started these on the 29th of November. Let's see. Where'd it go? FootJoy pants. Sold on the 29th of November. Accepted an offer of $25. These literally took a day, guys. So this is the power of respecting the comps. Now, it could also be my title. This is how eBay. Now I know it has changed a little bit, but eBay wants you, brand. What is it? what's the gender, what's the size, the color, and then anything relevant after that. Okay, so moving on. Also, to highlight the buyer, high quality buyer, 100% feedback. I don't expect any trouble. Okay, so here's an item that had very little velocity on eBay. Okay, so sometimes you come across items where you see that there's a demand for it, but you can't match your specific item to it. Okay, so this is what this is. Now I matched this brand is a crossover with Carhartt, a very in-demand product. These are board shorts in the middle of fall, late fall, early winter, and I'm selling board shorts. Okay. Now, yeah, Stoic, tell me, how is this? Well, let's look at it. Very high-end eBayer. This is a seasoned eBayer. You got 365 feedback, you're a seasoned eBayer. Got 33 page views. I accepted an offer of $20. Let me see if I can find it. It's right here. It sold November 27th for $20. Took 33 page views, and I listed it on November 23. Took 4 days, guys. Took little amount of page views, which, I mean, if you kind of correlate, page views and impressions maybe have some form of percentage correlation. So we can maybe say this took less impressions and less page views than other items. So to eBay, in my opinion, they found me a quality buyer for a quality item that was in demand, sold out of season. This, in the algorithm, guys, is something that eBay is wanting. Okay, now these last three items, except for this. Actually, let's bring this one up. So this is a Patagonia. Now it had a stain. I pointed it out. Please note, small stain on the lower front seam. You guys need to be very clear with this because, if I understand BBE and that whole scenario wasn't necessarily for us here in the US or in Canada. It was for like the Southeast Asian sellers. But this is just a part of being a quality seller. I'm not trying to stroke my ego or pat myself on the back. I'm just saying this is what we all need to be doing. Pointing out every single flaw. Making sure it's written down. Making sure it's easily seen by the buyer. Now, if he can't go from the title picture to the second picture, that's on him. But you know what? I'm looking here. He's got 104 positive feedback. Seems fair. Item, I started on the 22nd. I should have done this a little bit easier here. 22nd, and here it is. Sold on the 26th. Took 4 days. I did accept an offer of $30 for it, which is pretty fair. I mean, you had to pay $8.50 shipping. That's what I charge for anything going promoted, or not promoted, priority. Took 61 page views. So this maybe took a little too many views. I did respect the comps. Comps for this were around $40. A small stain like this, I normally discount a little bit. So, maybe the stain had something to do with the additional views, but this guy clearly didn't care. So eBay definitely is favoring these. If you look up the Patagonia Fjord flannel, it does have a very high sell-through rate. There aren't a whole lot available. So if you guys can see, I'm showing you items that are not necessarily available all the time, but you need to be keeping your eye out. All right, so here is some Marmot pre-sit pants, brand new with tags. You can see here, I listed these on November 11th. They sold on the 29th. So this took 18 days, guys. And 24 views, and it sold to someone who has positive feedback. Now, this is an item, guys, I would probably admit is not a favorable item in the algorithm. It took longer than 4 or 5 days. It didn't have very many views, which it maybe implies it didn't have very many impressions either. But it's an in-season item. So for me, I don't typically have a lot of seasonality. I keep repeating that. But I do get seasonal sales. I mean, who doesn't? So you can see here, it took 18 days. This is an item that if I had to put money on it, I don't think eBay's really putting this item in favor in the search queue, in the algorithm. I will admit the first like week and a half, I had like 2 views on this item. Now, if you look at Marmot Preset Pants, it has a fair sell-through rate, but that's not everything. I did price this probably a little high. I did accept a 10% offer at $44.97. So, and the last item I'm going to show you guys, just because it sold for a lot of money, is Vineyard Vines. For people who are new to the clothing market, Vineyard Vines is very saturated. Sold for, I believe I took an offer of $60. Yep, you can see right here. Sold on November 27th. It sold to a very high quality buyer. But look I listed this September 25th. This had not gotten to my end and sell similar yet. I only do 10 of those a day. So buyers will find your item if they really want to, because I can guarantee you the fact that it took nearly 2 months to sell, this was being suppressed. This was at the bottom. Now, the only thing saving me was probably the fact that it was new at tags, which is already something eBay enjoys. Also, I have a quality account. I have 99.9% feedback. I'm hoping one of those feedbacks falls off here in the next month or so. It was a favorable dollar amount, and my title is favorable. I mean, I try to make my account very quality in terms of how I operate. So, but this is another example, guys, of an item that, maybe I should start second guessing. Yes, will it sell? Absolutely. But look how long it took. And with eBay slowly progressing through their metrics and how they're operating their algorithm, good or bad, this may not be an item I should pick up in the future. And if I do, maybe I lower the price. Maybe I list this at $59.97 next time, and it gets pushed into a higher quality of listing. And so, guys, let me know down in the comment section. Is this something? And obviously, I'm not going to make it this long. But I really wanted to correlate it with Polish Pete's example of quality listings. Showing you some examples of items that I believe are extremely favorable in the algorithm, and eBay's pushing those for free for me. None of these items were promoted. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. Not a single one of those items that I sold were promoted. And for clarity's sake, I do believe I had a promoted listing sell sometime this week. And I believe it's supposed to tell me here somewhere, right? Right here. Oh, no, it's repeat buyer. I thought it told me on this screen. Maybe it doesn't. But most of this, guys, most of this is fairly recent. Dang, yeah. I didn't have very many promoted listings. So, I think I've gone. Oh, no, that's what is a delist relist. Yeah. So, here. Okay, I do know. No, this was a delist relist. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't think I had a promoted listing that you can see here. So, yeah, I'm just trying to be very clear with you guys, be very transparent. Just as a recap, go check out Polish Pete's 10 promoted listing theories that are miscommunicated. He does a great job explaining them. Review these items, guys. The premise of this is I wanted to show you items that are favorable, that eBay is going to push for you without having to be promoted. Because at the end of the day, I don't think I should have to pay eBay 5 or I think 11 or 12% is the average for clothing at the moment. Could you imagine if I paid eBay an extra $12 to sell this for me when I didn't have to? You know what I mean? These are high quality items. This is what eBay is wanting out of us as sellers. This is what us as sellers need to provide to eBay. Of course, you're going to have items like these Marmot pants that took a while to sell. You're going to have, those Vineyard Vine pants that took a while to sell. Those are what I consider bread and butter and are going to take that long to sell. You will find a buyer at some point for those. but eBay doesn't want them. So maybe we need to start reimagining what we are doing in our business, how we are sourcing. So guys, tell me in the comments section. Give me examples of yourselves. Tell me, am I getting it wrong? Am I an idiot for not promoting? Do you think that this is going to be sustainable in the future? Let me know. But guys, go check out Polish Pete. Go check out Hey Fro. Go check out Camo. And until the next day, rule the day.